You didn't click it. There we go.
I didn't click it. I believe we're live.
Well, it does say.
I believe you're live.
It does say?
Yeah.
So today's date is Thursday, the 1st of October, 2020.
Is it?
I think so.
You might be right.
It's been a year since I quit smoking, so I guess that probably also means it's my sister's birthday. So I guess happy birthday.
Ooh, is she watching?
No.
No.
I don't think so. But yes, wow, we already have a viewer. Someone's on the ball.
Yeah, I can't see that.
But yeah, good afternoon, good evening. We are no longer wrecking. I had someone actually come in today asking for an O2 sensor.
Really?
Yeah, and the answer was no.
But they do computer parts.
Yes. I did offer to ring up Subaru one day and find out how much, but as far as I know, they're over $300, so it's like, no.
Yeah, I remember when I got my knock sensor. I bought that on eBay for $80 after I got quoted over $200 from Subaru.
So you bought a dodgy second-hand knock sensor. You know, that's like one of the most...
No, that was a Subaru genuine knock sensor.
You sure?
It came in a Subaru genuine box. What's the Subaru genuine part number?
From genuine China.
Probably.
Have you not learned a thing whilst we've been doing this stream?
It still works.
Unacceptable.
Well, I say that, but I still have the check engine light for the knock sensor. I'm like, stuff it. It's probably something else.
You know what it probably was?
What?
That Chinese knock sensor you put in.
I mean, the code never got fixed.
Why not? Why didn't you clear it?
I cleared the code and it came straight back. I'm like,
Did you over-tighten the knock sensor?
No, it tightened it pretty good. But I'm like, yep, that's
yes, that's the issue. You're not meant to tighten
No,
it.
like I got the ratchet and I tightened it.
Yeah,
like,
but did you torque it?
No, not torque hard. Like I'm like, you know, how you tighten anything into aluminium?
Yeah, but you're not meant to do that with a knock sensor. Knock sensors are extremely sensitive. You're meant to torque them down.
Yeah.
Because it's a very sensitive thing. It detects knock.
They've got to sit on the right angle as well.
Yeah, do you have it on the right angle?
Probably not. Well,
Like, you know
actually,
how, like,
no.
when you try to undo something tight and you stick your tongue in a certain way?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do that, but with the knock sensor.
I mean, the knock sensor is the correct way because I put it the only way it would fit. Like for it to actually get it in there and line up and get the bolt in there.
I still feel like you did it wrong. But okay. We're sharing our years of experience. Well, my experience and Rohan.
Not my experience.
Stuff. Rohan stuff.
Yes.
7:30 p.m. every Thursday. We have live chat here on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube.
Yes.
Yes.
YouTube is the least latency one?
I think so. And then I think Twitch has the fastest commenting, and then Facebook's just a Christmas break in between. So if you guys do comment on Facebook and I take a while to reply, that's most likely why. But yeah, tonight's subject. What's tonight's subject, Rohan?
Interior.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it is. It is interior. Just some of the common issues and things that break in them, because what's better than spending $50,000 on a car and then 3 or 4 years later having to replace your dash because it cracked.
I didn't spend $50,000 on my car, but that would suck.
I know I didn't, but I know there's a few people out there who have.
What, the version 5 STIs?
Darren said, no lag here. What year is this?
It's 2020.
I think it's 2020. And there is a slight delay in between us and Facebook. I think we worked it out to be a 20 or a 30-second delay.
Something like that.
So pretty much I'll be saying something now and you'll hear it
in 30 seconds.
Now.
That doesn't really help considering that by the time they hear it, it's already been another 30 seconds.
So it emphasizes the point. But yeah, Darren says, no lag here. What year is this? I have a feeling, it's 2020. There's a little bit of lag. But just so you know, Darren, I'm pretty much talking about your car anyway. Well, my car as well. Pretty much if you own a Liberty, I guess we'll start with that. I'm going to put that up. That'll be the first part of conversation. I haven't really got many photos tonight because this is more of a pretty much if you have one, you know what I'm talking about. So I just kind of want to run through it for anyone who is thinking about buying one of these cars. The Liberties, the Gen 4s. Well, not even just that. Pretty much after 2000, after the GD, so about 2004 onwards, I'd say, Subaru started cheaping out on plastics, from the best of my knowledge. And I'm not talking just like the dashes, pretty much everything interior-wise after 2004 just became
Cheap.
cheap. I'd nearly say consumable. They used to break that often.
Hey. No eating plastic.
Why not?
That's not good for you.
If you watched Uncle Roger, is it raw or cooked? It looks like raw plastic. What's cooked? Sorry, off topic. But no, yeah. So the Gen 4s have a real big issue with the dashes just falling apart. So when I got my car, it had a slight bit of damage above the head unit, which you couldn't really notice. But now that, even though I don't really have anyone in my I do occasionally have passengers, but my dash on my passenger side is starting to crack as well. Just out of nowhere, just from the heat and everything, it's just terrible. One of the other things with the newer model cars was the sun visors. Do you ever know that, Rohan?
Oh yeah, like mine.
What's wrong with yours?
What mine's doing is that the material is separated from the wire.
So
every
it
time-
puffs up.
Well, it kind of sags down.
Yeah. So it was something that happened with the GC8s, but it's kind of expected because they're 20 plus years
At
old
least
now.
20 years old.
Yeah. So yeah, the youngest GC8 you're going to get is 20. So
mine.
it's one of those things where that's a bit expected. But when we were wrecking, we used to have 2008 WRX owners coming in looking for sun visors because their sun visors had broken because quality Subaru parts. Again, it just confuses me how people could spend so much money on a car and have things break so often.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then it's out of warranty, so it doesn't get replaced by Subaru.
Yeah, and that's one of the issues with the dashes. The dashes started failing just after
Warranty.
So Subaru was like, hey, there's nothing we can do about it. But there was a period in time, I believe, that Subaru did swap some of the dashes, but don't quote me on that. They also, sometimes when they did your airbag recall, would swap the dash because you could take photos of it, send it in to get the airbag recall, and then someone's damaged it. So you could go to the Subaru guys and be like, hey, my dash wasn't broken before it came in. You just damaged it. And they'd replace it with a brand new one. But
imagine doing that with the GC. That'd be funny.
It'll probably be about a year or two until we see those brand new ones start failing as well.
Yeah.
Darren said, got a carpet cover. Anything else to stop cracks? I really don't think so. Sun visor, trying to keep as much heat off the dash as possible is probably about it. Because I think that's the issue with mine is I've been parking outside more. So the sun's getting in and heating up the dash and causing it to crack.
Like my car's been parked outside since I bought it, and the previous owner kept it undercover. I don't know about the owner about that before that though.
Yeah, but like I said, the GC8s and the early GDs, all the GDs had fairly substantial plastics.
Yeah, and like
they were good quality.
With all that, my dash is perfectly fine, except for one of the things that we're going to talk about later.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can mention that now if you like, which is what?
The center dash lid.
Yeah, which, again, in Subaru's defense, most of them don't break until someone leans on it.
I didn't lean
or
on mine.
tries to remove it.
Didn't remove mine either. It just cracked.
Just cracked?
Yeah.
After how long?
20-year-old center dash lid. So
that's the thing. It's a 20-year-old piece of plastic that's been sitting in the sun.
Yeah.
So again, it is understandable. Which I don't know if my friend's still doing it. He may be. He may chime in later. But he's making was making replica ones.
I think he does it in his spare time when he's
Yeah,
not busy.
when he's bored and got nothing better to do.
Yeah,
He makes replica ones that he's molded off a.
genuine one.
Look at this. Look at this.
Hey, he's there.
He's on the money. Someone needs to make copies of the center dash. I don't know who's doing that, but
There is someone that does do it.
there's someone that does do it. The guy who does it, it takes a bit to get to know him and get along with him, but the stuff he makes is fairly quality.
Yeah.
I think. He makes it with plastic, like obviously not 20-year-old plastic, so it is fairly solid and
it's not hollow.
yeah, no, well, he's brought it to us before to compare, and the only way I could tell the difference was he got a little bit lazy with cleaning off the edges.
That and also the older ones. This is the only difference between new and old one. The older ones, you could feel the wear on top from the sun soaking into it.
Yeah. Oh, you could still feel the wear. Like you still had the roughness on it.
Yeah,
and
but
everything.
feeling the top of the old dash, you could tell that it was in the sun.
Jason said, "What? I'm easy to get along with."
Sometimes.
Sometimes. As long as no one's picking on you about your pink Honda, you're normally good.
Still waiting for that to show up at 3P.
Darren says with gauge pods incorporated. No, his one isn't. He's literally just making a replacement for the standard.
Because in theory, I was actually thinking about this, but in theory, you could put gauge pods on top of the dash lid, so you have a dash.
Yes.
You still have the pocket there.
The issue is going to be running the wires. You're going to have to drill through the dash.
Maybe
lid.
not.
How else would you get the wires through?
Through the dash lid.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're going to have to drill through the dash lid.
Yeah, but then if you do that in manufacturing, then the person that's buying it doesn't have to.
So it is something that he could do, but that's a lot of effort. And what Jason's trying to do is make replicas as close to the original as possible. Because one of the issues with replicas is you tend to get a replica of a replica of a replica, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So someone will design it, and then someone will take a mold off that design, and then take a mold off that design and all that kind of thing. So it just snowballs the imperfections and stuff. Whereas what Jason has done is he only copies genuine stuff. So he's done a few different things like fog light covers, where he was very particular. He did not want any replica fog light covers. He molded
which are very hard to find in Australia.
So even the washer lids, washer caps for the front bars of cars with HIDs.
Yeah.
He made molds of those as well. Again, from original pieces.
I've noticed they always seem to break.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what Jason does.
They don't break, they fall off.
Again, when he's bored
and
not busy, which isn't very often now, especially since COVID's lifted and he can actually go race cars and stuff.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
A few, there's an event in Toowoomba, I think, he said.
What?
Event in Toowoomba soon.
I think the Bow Desert.
Or Bow Desert.
There's
something.
one at Bow Desert, I think, this weekend.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one then.
He's going to look at. Jason also said, I need to make... Okay, so he might not have any at the moment.
I live like 30 minutes away from Bow Desert. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Then go out and visit.
Yeah, well.
I think you need to register online, though. And I think it might be too late to register.
Damn.
Jason can message you after that. So Darren said, just my thoughts exactly about taking on the gauge pods. But Jason also said COVID killed the import of plastic mix for now. So he pretty much can't get plastic mix. Oh, yeah. No spec.
Yeah.
So Michelle also jumped in. Bow Desert on Sunday with Gold Coast Tweed Motorsports Club.
Damn.
No spectators.
Well, there goes that idea. Yeah, that's all right.
Here we go. So Darren said, speaking of gauge pods, is there one for a Gen 4A pillar? I don't believe so.
Couldn't you retrofit something from another model?
You could, but the issue is they tend to be illegal. What I see most Gen 4 owners do, don't quote me, this is just from memory from a while back. They used to take where above the head unit, the cozy we have in those, So above the head unit in the Gen 4s, you have like a sunglasses hole kind of thing.
Yeah.
people used to put little tablets in there and then run it from, was it OBD CEDO or something like that, I think, to run the gauges from. Like you used to be able to get an app on your tablet
Yeah.
and run OBD gauges, like plug into your OBD port and then go from your OBD port to the tablet or whatever you use.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't really seen any gauge pods origin for.
You know what we need to do though? We need to bring back bonnet-mounted gauges.
No.
Oh, Darren has sat nav. Bugger.
Damn.
Yeah, I actually don't know of any.
You don't need that. Just rip it out. Put the other thing in.
gauge
You'll be
pods in.
fine.
That might be something I'd have to look up for you and see. Yeah, and Carl with the answers. Bonnet mounted was for mechanical gauges.
Well, that's when you just run a wire out and then have that instead. Because
Yeah,
you
but-
can't have mechanical
well,
ones in Australia.
Yeah, you couldn't have mechanical ones inside the cabin anyway.
But you can't have them in
you can
Australia.
have a normal boost gauge, like a vacuum boost gauge.
Yeah,
But the issue was like the coolant temp, oil pressure, and all that.
they had to be sensors.
Yeah. In those models for the mechanical gauges, you have oil coming directly to
Yeah,
the gauge.
that's why they put them in the bonnet. So if it blew up, they wouldn't get oil in their face.
Yes,
They
because
just get
it's
oil on their windshield.
yeah, like 100-degree oil and 100+ degree coolant tends to hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
But Rohan, you've got me sidetracked.
We're still talking about, well, we were talking about interiors technically.
So gauge pods, I'm not too sure about, man. I'm sorry about that. I can't even picture any gauges in the Gen 4. The issue is they're so clean. Yeah. Nothing like 300 degrees of oil in your face to wake you up in the morning.
It's better than 300 degrees of coffee.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, because coffee you'd like wash off. The oil's a little bit sticky.
You'll be fine. You know that pumice stuff? You just take a shower with that. Use it as body wash.
The cubby lids is another common thing to break, but unlike the more modern stuff, Carl said if you're making a 300-degree coffee, you have issues.
I would be genuinely impressed if someone managed to make 300-degree coffee, considering that there'd be no water in it.
Really concerned.
There'd be no water in the coffee if it was 300 degrees.
It'd just be vapor, dude.
Vaping coffee.
Don't challenge me. That's like one of my friends. What were we talking about? So Carl said, "Don't challenge me." One of my friends did the exact same thing before. We were talking about stimulators for the computer, like racing simulators. And my mate went, "There's no way we'll be able to get 100% on the brake." He's like, "It's too stiff. You won't do it." And I just turned around and went, "That sounds like a challenge for me." So I'm probably going to borrow his and attempt to. I'm not going to break it. I am going to attempt to go full foot. We will see.
Sidetrack.
There you go. If you pressurize the cup enough, you can.
There you go.
If you put it in a vacuum, would that work?
No, because in a vacuum it would evaporate quickly.
Oh yeah, you do the pressurize like a radiator.
You got to pressurize it. Yeah, because the more pressure, the higher the boiling point. So if you're in a vacuum, it would boil instantly.
Give me 2 seconds. You talk about what you wanted to talk. You know the thing you brought up, because I have something I need to put up.
Yeah. So another thing that breaks, and this is Jacob. Jacob used a very special word for those types of people, including myself.
It's dead. We can't say it on stream.
No one said that we can't say it on stream. It's probably better if we don't, though.
I'm saying you can't say it.
Okay, there we go. The boss had his word. All right. Oi. What's your language?
Okay, Darren, I'm slightly dyslexic, so no, not a stimulator. I meant a simulator.
That took you a second.
Not that kind of establishment.
And Carl said I censored it and everything. So
He still used the bad language word.
yeah, science.
Yes.
What's wrong with science?
Oh wow! Wow, Luke. I've never been able to pronounce his last name, but he needs a rebar. The dog chewed his. Someone help Luke because
Well,
I like him.
I'd say first of all, get the dog a really big chew toy before getting a bumper.
Yeah, that could work too. But Luke has a GC. GC? Or did he buy a Forester as well? Didn't he? Is it the GC or the Forester? Put it in here, and someone may be able to help you. But back to the, how we were talking about hoses and things blowing up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a very nice customer message me, one of our friends, showing us this is what happens when a power steering line blows underneath the car and you're underneath it. So don't do that. So imagine that though with hot oil. He looks so excited in that photo. Have the end to see that. I think you'll enjoy that. So we have Carl say I also need a rear bumper, but that's because I backed into a wall this morning like a special person. Luke said, anyone want a German Shepherd going cheap? And Jason just said,
what in the world?
What in the flavor, really? I got connection to Jason, man. I get photos of everything. I'm losing the stream. No, I want that one there. I want this one over here. But yeah, so did you explain the triangle bits, or did I stop you before you?
I think you stopped me right in the middle.
Okay, have a go.
Yeah, little triangle bits that are out on the inside of where the rear view mirrors are, the side wing mirrors.
Yes. So in the GCA, well, all the cars have them. The GCA, again, mostly because of their age, I feel they broke, but they had, they were just
3 pins,
extremely fragile, 3 clips holding them in, and if you pulled it on the wrong kind of angle, you'd crack one of the clips. Yeah,
I've got one broke on either side. At least one broke on either side.
I don't think I have any spares hidden at home. Sorry.
That's fine.
But yeah, it was again one of those things I used to break a lot of work, but you figure out how to do it. And again, it's because it's 20 years old. The issue with when you went to the GDs and the newer versions, it was literally because you didn't know where to grab it from and you just yeet it and you break it. And again, that's not really the cheap plastic. So yes, Jason said, you mean I need to make those as well? Yes.
Yeah,
it's
I imagine
really just because you get the people, because they still clip in when you only have 2 clips. The issue is it flops around.
Oh, mine doesn't.
Yeah.
It's still pretty stiff in there.
Yeah. But it's just one of those things.
Don't look at me like that, Tito. I know what I said.
See, I was doing so well until I saw you look over just then. I'm like, I can roll with this, I can ignore it, and then Nathan's just like, what? But yeah, no, that would be also another good thing to make, Jason. But yeah, so we're talking about the sun visors. Well, another thing I want to mention with the sun visors before we completely leave that subject as well is the fact that they were different between models as well. So people would think the sun visors you could take in between, but they were different. But even to the stage where you had differences between the WRX and the NAs and the club specs and the WRXs and all that, they were made out of different materials.
Yeah, fair enough.
So again, we had customers come in looking for a GD sun visor. We'd be like, yeah, we have one. What color is yours though? Because they were all different colors and just the subtle things that annoy.
Like for me, my sun visor being busted doesn't really bother me all too much, considering I never use the damn thing.
Yeah, it's actually Darren's just bought it. So it's not an interior part, but I will touch on it. Over the last 6 months, his bonnet scoop has seriously started to fade, which is a mix of both the heat from underneath, because you've got to remember it's doing heat cycles something chronic.
Yeah.
And the plastic, it's plastic. Unless I feel like that's what he'd be talking about, the little plastic fascia
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
on the scoops for the Gen 4s, I believe. Because, yeah, they fade something chronic.
And then you've got that's why a lot of people get that metal thing to put under their bonnet.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called, but I remember you guys had one for such a long time as well. Is it still around, or
Well, is what's still around?
the metal piece that goes under the bonnet? I remember you guys had it at the old 3P garage.
Oh, no. The metal thing we had was just a shroud for the Process West. It was like a... Yeah, it was just a shroud that diverts the air into
Process West.
into a Process West or other things.
Okay.
To answer that question, you can put me up for a second if you want to show exactly why.
So Nathan technically is here,
And I'm not naked.
and he has got clothing on. I can definitely see his shirt, so we're good in that
And
sense.
can confirm he's got pants on.
Why are you looking just in case he didn't, man? Jeez.
Uh,
He's just currently trying to mess around with the customer's computer, and we want to try to get it done before too late tonight.
Yeah, 'cause it's
Yes.
coming back tonight.
So I can ask him questions, and if it gets too hard, I'll just click this on and make him answer it. But so far, I feel like I'm doing all right because I can talk about things breaking all day long. But yes, so we'll hide him away again for a bit. But Luke said he has 2 sun visors spare, and like Ray, keep them and keep them safe.
they're going to be worth the same as gold in a couple of years.
Because I'm pretty sure he got them from some of the cars just before we finished.
Yeah, fair enough.
He was one of the very few customers we trusted to do his own thing and then come back to us. He'd literally show up with tools and be like, where's the car? We'd be like, out the back, just go do your thing.
Yeah.
And he'd literally come back. 9 times out of 10, he'd ask how much for things that we didn't care about. Like, he'd bring a heap of random little bolts and clips and be like, how much for this? Like, dude, just take it. So,
I mean, the bolts and clips, you guys had so much excess of that most of the time.
oh, yeah. I guess that's another thing Jason could make is those clips for the GC8s.
Which ones?
You know, the ones that go over the bolt holes that hold the kick panel. What do you call them? Kick panel, side kick thing. See how well. You know, when you get in the car,
Yes.
the plastic side thingamajig.
Oh, the little. Oh, yeah.
It's a kick panel. Kick panel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's the kick panel, yeah.
Yeah, those covers. There's little plastic covers that go over that.
Yeah.
That people always throw out and lose. But I do agree with Kyle. Jason literally needs to make all of them. All the clips for a GCA.
you still can get the clips from Subaru. It's just sometimes it can take time.
You can, and the other issue is it's expensive.
Yeah, that too.
It's very expensive. You know it's expensive. Don't try to pretend it's not expensive.
I haven't bought clips for the Subaru yet. I tried looking for clips. I tried looking for clips for the Honda, and they're like, "Oh, maybe this place has." I'm like, "Fuck it, I'll just zip it." Oh, I said a bad language word.
Nate said also the intercooler. But yeah, we were talking about the shroud for the intercooler. It literally, that metal thing just diverted the air into the intercooler. That's all it was. Jason said it's like he's in a timeout. Yeah, he's got to get the computer finished now or never.
By the way, it's working fine.
It's working fine now.
I'm stress testing Cinebench and Firmark at the same time.
Yeah, I was being hypnotized by Firmark. That was weird.
The one thing that I changed was the power supply mode from quiet mode, so fans cut in and out, to silent/cooling mode, so the fan is always on.
Huh. So it sounds like Nathan's got a win with his computer.
Maybe.
But we also have
stress testing.
2 things that hit me in the feels because Luke's saying I missed 3B, I need so many bits. I know it hurts, I miss you a lot, okay? You were one of those customers I was always excited to catch up with. Same with Darren. Like, he came in a bit later, but I think he came in like as we were getting ready to stop.
Yeah.
Like, Darren was like on the edge of us going, yeah, nah, it's over.
Yeah.
Jason said all the clips are available on Wish in packets of 100.
I mean,
it takes 6 months to get here.
Yeah. And they'll also be about 3 sizes too small.
No. They'll have the picture of them on Wish like this, but then they'll arrive and they'll be like this.
Nate said just the look on his face, intercooler would have been the best answer. Yeah. Carl's even saying he misses it. Wait, who's the dentist now?
Who's the dentist?
Who?
I'm not
Yeah.
a dentist.
I'm not.
I don't know.
I'm
You
just
work for
I'm just the dude who has a glorious mullet growing. Like if we all look back at the stream from, I believe the first one was when I shaved it. So in the last 33 weeks, this is the progress of my beautiful mullet. I hope you all enjoy it. It's making me very happy.
Just remember that he does own a Commodore, so it makes sense.
I don't own one yet. I own a Subaru variant of Commodore.
Still a Commodore. It's a
Yeah.
it's a 6-cylinder rear-wheel drive Commodore.
It's a glorified Commodore, yes.
Nathan has his back to us.
Where are we at? I think that's why he's saying you're a dentist. But you're a dentist now because you have your back to us.
Yeah, I can't show my face.
Yeah. Oh yeah, true. Luke said they're still cheap. I've got a few from Subaru Capella. Oh, so you can get the clips cheap.
It may depend on the clip, because if they're still manufacturing them, then they'll definitely be cheap.
Carl said none of the clips fit that you get off Wish. And yeah, Darren confirmed Nathan had his back to us, so he can't show the face. Subaru Subaru. I need like. Can someone see if we can make that on
PPQ.
There'd have to be I know it's too long, but there'd have to be a way we can make a Sub door or something like that on PPQ.
You can leave out the E.
It's 7 letters is the limit.
Obviously, I have a budget of 0, so
That's
the
not
maximum will be to 475 map.
So
You should do what all the rednecks do. Just get the novelty plates that are clearly novelty plates and put them on your dash, like behind the windscreen.
You know what? Carl said he can 3D print badges.
Yes.
Hey, put it out there, Carl. If you do that, I would run. Because I reckon it'd be absolutely hilarious to see people's reactions to me having a super door. And no, I'm not full redneck. The mullet covers my neck so it doesn't get sunburn anymore.
I don't have that issue of sunburn.
But yeah, no, I've always enjoyed mullets and being silly and Commodores and stuff. So yes, both Nate and Jason are correct. I am a bogan redneck.
Well, the question is,
Carl's also called me out on that.
but the real question is, do you drink your goon from a glass or from the sack? Like straight
See, I
from
thought you were going to say clothesline, but neither. I'm on a diet, bro. I'm trying to lose weight and be healthy.
Because if you drink it from a glass, then you're a fancy bogan.
I know I'm a fancy bogan. I drive around in a super door. Do you have a super door?
No.
Dude, that is such a great name. I can't believe we didn't think of that. But yes, I do need to go outside to get something, which no, you can't make me, and I won't do it.
By the way, off topic.
Let's work out how I can make this fit into the comment.
Well, he's lost now.
You're making me think. Which one do we want to talk about next? So I've done Senate House Department being good from factory because they lasted so long, but bad because they cop so much heat and they used to crack. That's another actual tip I can give you, though. When my mate made my 3-pod cluster for my GCA, which I molded to the fascia, so it was all one piece. So the whole top section and down the bottom was one piece and all clipped in.
Oh, nice.
We painted that with an exhaust paint, or like an engine paint.
Yeah.
Because it's rated to 400-500 degrees.
And
so
it's still cracked.
It didn't crack because it was 400-500 degrees.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
it reflects the heat. It didn't actually like absorb into the plastic and go terrible.
Yeah.
Komaru fits. Oh, Komaru. Yeah, that's another cool one. Oh, dude, I'm gonna be on PPQ all night trying to figure out plates for this now. I'm not gonna put it up, Jason. But yes, Cito did walk Liberty. I feel like we're gonna have to do a whole episode one day on my Liberty because it's so popular. I feel like we might have to do that next week. Talk about the do's and don'ts of your Liberty and how to figure out what's broken without breaking things but wanting to break things.
Yeah, fair enough.
There's a noise in the back. I can't figure it out, man. I think I've got it down to a CV that's binding up as the rear of the car squats. But I don't know.
That reminds me, I need to sort out the CV for the Honda.
Carl says your choice. I'll 3D print the badges. Let the guy out of the boot. Oh, dude, it squats something chronic. It's crazy how much my car squats at the back now that it's rear-wheel drive. It's actually fun.
Did you bottom out at all when you had my wheels on it?
Yes. When I had your wheels on it, man, I scraped coming in and out of my driveway at home, which I have never done, including when my suspension was fully laid.
Yeah. But then you were really careful when your suspension was super low.
Liberty don't. Rear-wheel drive running on bump stops, redneck drivers. It works well. Oh, no, the noise in the boot is the guy not trying to get... Shh. Shush. You're not meant to know that.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Cylinder 3. Wait, it's in the back, though.
Oh,
what?
So Subaru. Turns out I can get Subaru. Oh, it didn't come up. Why didn't it come up? But Michelle said it's worth more than the plate. Mate, I can do that. 3.5 grand. Petty change for me. Petty change.
All you have to do is sell the car, and then you'll have enough.
Yeah, I'll sell the car, then I'll have enough to buy the plates. I can get Subaru for 3.5 grand. Sweet, job done.
Bye-bye.
I haven't got a spare $700 lying around either. Wow, that's nuts. No, I will not be doing that. So we've talked about. Have we talked about the airbags?
No.
Actually, no, because we're more picking on cheap things and braking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's keep going with cheap things and braking.
Door handles?
Door handles, yes. That was a big one. Because especially, I believe it was the 08 Pluses was one you used to have that issue with.
So no one could get out of their car if they had an 08 on Subaru?
Was it the actual handles that broke, Nathan, or the surrounds? I thought it was the surrounds that broke, the 08s.
That was the handle.
Oh, yeah, so the handles would snap.
So no one could get out of their car?
Yeah, you couldn't get out.
I remember that happened to me when I was driving an I-30 once. I used a pen to get in and out of the car until we got a new handle.
Dude, I love Luke's plates for the GCA. His plates are 6Y8, 1YF, GCA life. That's cool.
68.
Where are we at?
You read that wrong.
No, I said 68, but it's implying GCA life.
Yeah.
Question me. Yeah, shoot, Steve. We've been a little bit off topic. You may be able to, even though it's an unrelated question, it may pull us back to being on topic.
Oh no, Jason's got bad ideas.
I'm not going to put that up because there may be someone silly enough in the comments.
Well, no, you say don't do this at home.
Don't do this at home unless your name's Jason.
No, especially
Jason DeHala.
Especially if your name is Jason DeHala. Don't do it at home.
And Michelle says I've broken a lot of door handles surrounds.
Oh.
Yeah, the GC8s were the surrounds themselves. They used to break all the time. Whereas the 08 Pluses were the door handles. So, yes, you would get stuck in the car unless you could wind down the window and get out.
What if your window was broken and you couldn't wind it down? That'd be funny.
Steve has a question. Has anyone replaced a wiring loom rubber tube between a pillar and a door?
No,
but I feel like that'd be or the wiring out of the door would probably be the easiest way.
Yeah, unless it's plugged in just on the other side of the pillar.
Oh, did they have a plug just on the inside, Cito? Can you remember?
Which one?
Was it for the GC8, Steve? The plastic tube between the pillar and the door.
Yeah.
Did they? They didn't normally have clips on the inside. Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so you can
Yeah, undo the clip on the inside of the car would probably be the easiest way to get it.
yeah, and then all you have to do is feed it through the door, or well, you wouldn't even need to feed it through the door. You just feed it out from the pillar and leave it hanging outside between the door and the pillar, and then put it through the tube
Hmm.
and then into the door. But also, Michelle, if you wake up tomorrow and your microwave is not working, it was Jason.
Well, we got some hardcore questions now. So before I jump back to Darren's and that, just because we're talking about Steve's thing, Jason said, "Oh, Steve, you have to deepen the wires to feed the new one on." Oh, wow. That does not sound fun. Oh, yeah, because it'd be, no.
Yeah, because you have all the electronics, so you'd have to pull it out from the electronics.
Yeah, it's a loom protector in the door jamb.
Well, your other option...
It's been a while since I've looked at them, but I think Jason might be right because I don't think the plugs themselves will fit through.
Your other option is if you have one pre-existing that's just broken, you can just electrical tape it.
We're talking about Steve here. Have you seen his cars?
No.
You have seen his
I
cars?
have seen his cars.
It's the rally guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think taping it up is going to be his style.
It'd be a temp fix.
It'd be a Jacob fix. That'll probably be a Jason fix. But I don't feel like that's a Steve fix.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know how we all have that level of stuff?
Yeah.
I feel like Steve's like next tier. Just saying.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
for me, he's probably about 8 tiers higher, but next tier to most. Now we'll jump back to Darren's. Holes in leather seats, e.g. a hole the size of my fist in the driver's seat. That is a subject I was going to mention. Because this one I can't even stare at you because on stream I'm looking away from you. But the bolsters in the Subarus are not designed for non-Japanese people.
Yeah, for non-small Japanese people.
Yeah, so if you're a small Japanese person or a small Australian, you'll fit in fine and you won't mess up the bolsters.
It's like with the Honda, because I've got the Recaros in it, and it is a tad bit uncomfortable for me to sit in it.
But yeah, the bolsters are one of the things in Subaru that break a lot. The one that I never used to understand though, but I always had to ask you, was with the JDMs, they always tended to have the top bolster damaged. Did we ever know what that was from?
Probably from back pockets or something.
Yeah, like I know I had some version 5.6 STI seats. Is that what mine were? That had the bolster. 2 seconds and I'll get a photo.
It could be possible because the person who owned it was that short that they had difficulty getting in and out without smacking their back onto the bolster all the time.
Rohan, I had the photo. Where is it?
I don't know. I don't have access to the NAS.
No access to the NAS for you. Okay. So we'll jump to Jake Graham again before I pull this photo because it is another question that we have smart people here. Is axle shredding the spline in the rear in a CV normal on a GC8? No.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not. Like Jason said, are your CVs in properly? And do you have a CV, the C-clip in the diff? The other thing is it the right CV? Because if it's in a GC8, the other issue you have is the different types of CVs, which I don't think we've ever actually talked about on screen.
No.
But I feel like I probably should one day because I feel like that's a big thing. The GCs had two lots. So you had the equal length CV shafts or you had the unequal length shafts.
Like the headers.
No. But you could also have that issue as well, where that could be a thing. But yeah, so talking about the bolsters, this here, I saw this on so many cars that Nathan got from Japan. Cool, that's a big zoom in.
I mean, mine had the same thing. My previous GC had the same thing when I bought it.
So yeah, I'm talking about.
And I have a feeling it's from people rubbing up against it when they're getting in and out of the car.
Yeah, but it was just very odd that it was always in that one. Like, as you can see there, you have the metal there. So I feel like it is, like you said, where you just keep getting in and out, and it just eventually wears through with the
It's
metal
very
there.
possible what people are doing is they're putting their hand on it as well to actually use it as leverage.
Jake also said it's in the CV joint left-hand inner. Wait, in the actual CV? Or is it the splines?
Like inside the boot or in the spline? Because if it's inside the boot, that's a very questionable thing. If it's the spline, that's different.
Well, if it's a spline on the inside, that's something major going wrong.
It's very
We
questionable.
will have more answers in a second.
Yes.
But yeah, so Carl said his has something similar. But yeah, so like that, I feel like it's just where they had the metal there. And like we've said, it's just from hopping in and out constantly.
Yeah.
But the other issue people would see was the lower bolsters here. Like mine weren't too bad. I was a little bit larger, so as you can see, like my seatbelt buckles. I'm a big boy, all right? Let's not beat around the bush.
I mean, my side bolts are there.
Wow. Yeah, so the axle splines into the tripod joint. That one, dude, I have no idea. I've never heard of that. Have you got a big, powerful car, or
Is the angle off? Like, have you got a raised vehicle?
yeah, is it raised? Is it lowered? Have you ever seen that happen, Sigo? This is one I definitely need to ask you about. No, not that. Well, the question, yeah.
Which one? Who said
The
it?
axle, the Jake one. The axle splines into the tripod joint are stripping.
In a spline. The splines are in the rear inner CV. No,
Yeah.
that's not.
I can't think of any case I've seen that happen.
No, we've seen them shear.
Well, that could be on its way to doing it, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Why did they shear? Can you remember? Just from too much power?
That's all I could think of. Yeah.
Because, yeah, that's a big odd one. Because I'm sitting here trying to think, did they have different splines as well? Cito, do you remember how you had the Neuron later style?
Yeah, I'm not sure. They might have.
He's only just bought the car and it only has a front mount. So obviously it probably hasn't got much power then.
Carl's got the right idea. Too many clutch dumps.
Yes. Glam. I'll go back because I missed a lot. Glam asks, how do you spell Subaru? It's called Subaru. Is my new car name. It is Subaru. Alan asks, Jacob, do you use any parts for effect? No. No.
No custom parts here.
Yeah, no, Jake, I am sorry. You may have to talk to
Robin. Robin might have seen this.
Yeah. Have you got a mechanic that you... So Jason said only thing that could strip them is wrong centerpiece on spline or circlip isn't on properly. It sounds like, Jason, it's where the cradle for the tripod joint goes. So it's like inside the actual boot. You know how you slide the tripod on and then you put the balls in it? It sounds like it's that spline there that's breaking. And yeah, I have not heard of that happen. Unless something's binding up somewhere. I guess that could be an issue.
If it's binding up, then the CV would definitely be on its way out.
Like if the diff or something's binding up, it could force that to spin, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, he's an apprentice mechanic at GT Automotive for Subarus. Wait, like as in GT?
As in the GT that's like right over there?
Yeah, the one that's down the road that Spaghetti's at and all that.
Probably.
Give me 2 seconds. Oh, actually, Cito, do you want to go ask Spaghetti if he knows a Jake Graham? That's Graham, yeah. I can't think of another GT automotive. Oh, did he leave?
Oh,
Unacceptable.
well, that's when you just Googles.
Yeah. I wonder if it is GT down the road.
Probably is.
Oh, no, it's in Lismore, New South
Yeah.
Wales.
No.
I was going to say
No,
there's a
okay,
few of
so
them.
it's not the one we think then.
Damn.
I was going to say, I'm like, we have a GT literally right round the corner that our mates work at. And I'm like, those guys should know what they're talking about.
For sure they should know
Oh.
what they're talking about.
If he's in Lismore, man, it's hard then because there's.
Oh.
So Steve said, are the splines failing or the end of the shaft snapping? It sounds, Steve, like they're failing, so it's just rounding the splines off.
Inside the boot.
Yeah, inside the boot is what I'm getting at from here. Yeah, so the teeth and the spline itself is stripped. This is a big one that I've never run into. And we've run into some crazy things. Like we've snapped lots of CV. When you drove the car, did it feel like something was binding up in the rear? Because that's the only other thing I can put it down to is the wrong ratio between the diff and the gearbox, causing things to bind up.
Yeah, if you had no, even then,
Yeah, because normally you do the center diff.
yeah. Unless the diff itself is crapping itself.
So the car's at 280,000 kilometers.
I mean, even then it shouldn't because I've got, unless it was driven hard a lot for those 280. But even then,
So this is a good way to get off track. Have you tried putting another one in? I reckon, yeah, like Steve said, could just be wear. So I'll probably just throw another shaft in,
and see what happens.
drive around, see what happens. If it does it again,
It
then I'd
could
be
be your
worried.
diff.
yeah, I'd just throw another one in. Obviously, try to get a second hand one.
Yeah, start off with the cheapest thing, which is the CV itself. But it's quite possible that the diff itself is binding up as well.
Yeah, but
That should be very uncommon for something like that to happen.
the only thing I can see causing it is the wheel spinning faster than the inner, so the diff.
That'd be interesting to happen.
Yeah. So Jason said the rear diff is binding and putting unnecessary stress on one side, because that's the only thing I could think of
Yeah.
is the fact that instead of the LSD working, doing its thing, where it lets the wheel spin at different rates,
Yeah.
for some reason the inner wheel is just going too slow compared to the diff or too fast compared to the diff.
In that particular case, what you'd have to do is, well, the easiest way to do that is get the car in the air and spin the wheel on one side and count the rotations, and get someone to count the rotations on the other side.
But if it's binding, it could be a thing that binds only when the
There's
viscous
load.
kicks in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he's doing another one this weekend.
Would you be able to tell if you pulled the cover off the diff if it was binding?
Not really. Normally, to notice a binding diff, as far as I'm aware, you had to drive it, didn't you, Cito? To notice a binding diff properly.
Get one of the other guys at the shop to take a ride with you and see if they notice something as well.
Oh, there you go. Darren said, is the shaft fully seated or is it sitting out some? So, Darren, we're talking not about how it goes into the diff.
No, because if it's not seated incorrectly, if it's sticking out, then it's going to throw the angles all off.
That could be a thing. So if the tripod joint wasn't pushed all the way down,
Yeah,
could
like
be
if
an
it's,
issue.
if it's not seated all the way into the diff, you're going to have the whole thing instead of sitting like that. It's going to want to
But
sit
the
like
thing
that.
is, normally if your CV is not in the diff, it leaks a lot,
Yeah, fair
like
enough.
a lot. But what I was getting at is if someone's rebuilt it and didn't push the tripod all the way down.
Yeah, that could happen.
So Jason said could be a failing bearing on that side in the diff. Jake said not too sure, but when I spin one wheel, the other goes the other way.
No, that's supposed to happen.
Yeah, because Steve asks if it was LSD open or viscous. The easiest way. I have a message from Jason. Yeah, so that's what we're talking about, Jason. Actually, yeah, Jason and Michelle are always on point in sharing photos with me, aren't they? It's like they know that I'm going to make mistakes and miss things. Just so you guys are aware, we're talking about where this goes onto the CV shaft.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Yes. But yeah, normally what I might do, if you look up, Jake, different Subaru diffs, and if you pull your diff out, if you have to pull your diff out to see if it's viscous and all that, if you Google Subaru diffs, there's a thing that actually shows you properly what they are. So, because it's a thing I actually helped someone the other day with. They thought that their diff was an open center, and it ended up me telling him that it's not.
The center's never open.
No. Open diff.
Oh, yeah.
So I meant open center diff, so it moves freely kind of thing, compared to a viscous or an LSD. Can you see anything? Has anyone said anything?
Yeah, some people are saying some stuff.
Oh no, what are they saying?
Steve says, does a CV have an extra smaller spline? I can't actually click the comments to bring these up, so I'll just have to read them.
Yeah, so Steve said, does the CV have an extra small spline? Because that was something I was getting at. The later model WRX shafts were different sizes to the earlier ones. Because we tried to swap boots and stuff over one day on a shaft, and we realized the tripod was a different size and didn't actually fit.
Okay.
Jason was thinking to show that to Steve. And are you grinding just the tip?
I knew you.
How did I find this photo so quick the other day, and I can't find it now?
What photo?
Subaru center diffs.
Center diffs?
Rear diffs.
Yeah,
Rear diffs.
That's right.
Let's find the conversation I had with this gentleman.
They're getting a bit loud out there.
They're always loud.
Yeah, that's true. No, normally they're loud outside, though.
So, here we go. I'm going to pull it apart this weekend, see if I can see what went wrong. Steve said the extra spline is for the viscous diff. And Jason said, just weld the center on. Problem solved, never move again. Bodgy bros. What I was going to show, just so you can see, I'm sorry I haven't got a photo without the...
photo bucket?
No. It's not photo bucket. It was us having an argument with a customer.
A disagreement with the customer?
A heated discussion with the customer one day about the different types of rear diffs. So if you look... Because I used this photo the other day to help the guy out that was trying to sell it. There's only a very slight difference between the open and the viscous LSD for the early models.
That's hard to see with two red things in the way.
I'm aware, but you can see the bit we're talking about. So in the open, it's literally open teeth, whereas the viscous, you have the little guard to hold the oil in more, as far as I can tell. If you have one of these two, though, you're like stupidly rich, and I'm jealous of you.
What the version 1 ones?
The version 1 viscous LSD or the Shore Track.
There, I found one.
Actually, I lie.
Oh, it's photo bucket. Damn it.
The clutch LSD. If you have a clutch LSD, you're pretty gangster as well.
Stuff you photo bucket.
Jake asks, how often do you guys get on the live? We do this every Thursday at 7:30. We normally only talk for about an hour, which is about time. And yeah, if you hop on our YouTube, we've got a few of the streams up. We still got to get the rest of them up. But yeah, we've been doing it for today's 33 weeks, I believe. So
something like that.
We have a few random bits of information out there.
Which you're redoing all the...
Yeah, I'm redoing most of the streams into smaller bite-sized videos every Monday. So, yes. I think I'm doing all right with it.
So I found the picture that doesn't have the red things on it.
Darren asks, can I get an LSD in the lib? As far as I know, Darren, you'd have this style in your Liberty. So the viscous LSD. Because as far as I knew with my Liberty, from what everyone told me, they were an open center. But it is a viscous LSD. So you should already have an LSD in yours. The issue is people expect them to be like a normal LSD where they lock up instantly.
I'm taking a screen.
You're taking a what?
I
can send you the photos, dude. I have the photos. Or did you get it without the...
I got it without the things, yeah.
You're a legend.
I think it's that one.
Have you sent it to me yet?
Cool.
And Darren said rear. Yeah. As far as I know, the rears are already LSD. The only thing that wouldn't be LSD in yours would be the front. Wait, Cedar, do you know if the GTs had front LSDs? I don't think they did they? You could get a front LSD in yours, but it'd be expensive because you'd have to pull apart the box and put in one of these bad boys.
There. Funnily enough, it is a photo bucket, but I don't have the watermark.
How'd you do that?
I don't know.
It has the photo mark.
I don't. Look.
Oh, here we don't. Okay, Rohan, talk for a second.
Yes. Well, going back onto topic.
Yeah, jump back on topic. Sounds great.
Door cards.
Door cards?
Yeah, apparently door cards.
What's wrong with door cards?
I don't know.
Are you kidding?
I never
had
they
my get all the weird sweaty juices on them, and they start cracking and peeling.
Mine didn't crack, but the rubber kind of... Well, I don't know if it was plastic or rubber or what it was, but it turned into rubber and it kind of just eventually fades off. Never had it crack or break though. Fortunately. But that's one thing.
Sido, can you check messages? Steve sent a photo of a viscous LSD drive shaft to us. And Jake said, hey Jason, what one would fit inside and do they have the same teeth on the inner spline? Yeah, that's up to you, Jason. I don't know the answer to that. But Rohan just sent me
Yeah, so what year car is it? Is Jason asking?
It worked. Rohan, it worked. Huh? Oh, sweet.
Also, another thing, for anyone that was on the stream last week that knew that I had a broken car, the car is not broken anymore. The thing wrong with it was the distributor. Replaced it, car ran fine.
That's for the early style diffs, is what Steve just sent. So Steve sent us this. If I can add it to the stream. So this here, this isn't necessarily for the viscous LSDs. This is more the earlier style diffs. So this was how I was getting at the fact you had equal and unequal.
That looks like a pain in the neck to line up. That looks like a pain in the neck to line up.
No, you just got to put it on the right side.
Okay.
But Yeah, this is just from the earlier style diffs. So that one would have matched with this, whereas the newer diffs, so from, was it the 98s that had the changeover, Nathan?
What do you mean?
For the rear diffs.
To the new side?
Yeah. Or was it
And why not?
so the MY99s, sorry, had the equal length shafts, not these ones.
Yes.
So anything before MY99, you would have had this style of shaft. So the long boy and the short boy, which was referred to the unequal length shafts.
Few comments.
So
Jake's got a 99 Subaru WRX GCA.
So the 99 would be the equal length. And like Jason said here, any CV place will have the 99 2000 WRX rear shafts. And like he said, they're same both sides.
Yeah, so they're going to have...
If you were before the My 99, so a 98, so 1998, My 98, you'd have this style of shaft.
Yeah, but if it was a 1998 MY99,
yeah,
then it would be the other type.
And like Jake just said, I've got an equal length shaft. Just double check though. Like stick your finger in and just make sure that someone hasn't put this style in by accident. Like put this style of diff in. So the way you could notice that is if you have both shafts out, stick your finger inside the holes.
I couldn't give a straight face. I'm sorry.
Stick your finger inside the holes and you can feel whether there's the step down or not for this long section. That's just to rule out, because you never know with GC8s. People did a lot of weird things and swapped a lot of things, so it could have had the diff swap to this style by accident. Because in saying that, we have had someone with an equal length shaft come out. We've thought, as far as I knew, they weren't. Because I know my car's got a viscous and it's got, I had the photo somewhere. Mine's got
nice.
This style of diff here. Yeah, you'd be able to feel whether your one had to step down anyway without pulling the other one out. I just like pulling them both out just to make sure both sides feel the same.
I mean, if one side was different to the other, I'd be asking a lot of questions.
Well, like I said, we had a car that we had come in that was driving and everything fine on the street, and we thought it had a equal length diff in it.
Yeah.
But when we've pulled it out, so we pulled equal length shafts out.
Yeah.
But when we pulled the diff out, we realized it was an unequal length diff.
Yeah, but wouldn't the unequal length diff have steps on both sides?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'd be asking serious questions if it was step on one side and not on the other.
That's fine.
Don't know who I'd ask those questions.
Yes, you can remove one at a time. Jake said, could you send me that photo of the diffs? Yeah, man. I'll send it to you after the stream. But yeah, as far as I know, like with what Steve said here, that one, from my experience, isn't right. Because all the WRXs in that had the viscous and they had this style here with the equal length. Would you agree with that, Cedar? So the version 2 viscous LSDs, they came with the equal length, yeah? Because Steve reckons only unequal length shafts were viscous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but yeah.
The new ones.
Yeah, the newer ones. But yeah, like I know definitely this style here. So the early style viscous would have been the unequal length shafts. But from what I know, like all the WRXs that have the viscous LSD with this bad boy. in it. Again, unless you're rich and have one of these two. Is there a way I can put this photo in the chat, Cedar?
You could put the link of the photo in the chat.
Oh, you have to jump on.
Oh, I could do that, yeah, too.
And post it there.
No, just copy the link. You're a genius, Rohan.
Big brain ideas.
So that is the link to the photo. It's a very useful photo. It's one I've used a fair bit.
Except this one doesn't have 2 red circles in the way of
Yeah, it hasn't
everything.
got 2 red circles that annoy me. Thank you, Rohan. Thank you.
It was a simple
But yeah, so I'm
Google
not
search.
too sure, Steve. I'd like to bounce off Jason if Jason can apply. But as far as I knew, these ones here were the viscous ones as well. And this was the style that was in all the WRXs and stuff. Like I know, like I said, my Liberty had it, 99 2000 GC8s had it, and newer WRXs had it.
Well, my GC8 doesn't.
Yeah, no, you probably have this.
Yeah, I do.
Have you checked?
No, I don't need to. I literally tripod off most driveways.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, Steve. We'd have to have a discussion with Jason about that one.
I remember one time I was leaving the hospital and my brother thought I had a bad clutch because of the fact that I had 2 wheels on the ground, the other 2 were not.
Hmm. But yeah, where are we at here? So yeah, the door cards, we were just really touching on the fact that Jason said, sorry, what was the question? The fact that
No question.
not that one, these shafts here. So these were just from the early ones. Steve thinks they were just for the viscous. But as far as I knew, these ones here had the equals. The equal and not equal have to do with the photo here you showed us. So, just trying to think where I can find some photos to show the difference. I'm definitely going to have to do a whole video on this one day.
What, diffs?
The rear CV shafts.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, so what I'll do, I'll bring that over here.
They look the same though.
So yeah, Jason said unequal up to 98 version for WRX STI, not sure on NA. So with here, so these are the rear shafts here. Yes, they say they're from a 2000 JDM, but when I'm talking equal length, I'm talking about these here. It's just hard to see because I wanted like zoomed in photo. There. So both of them are like that on the rear, where there's a taper on it, whereas the early style ones, Tay's got a. So Tay asks, what version would my 99 GC8 WRX be? It should be this style. It should be the equal length. And Jake said that's the same one as I go to replace mine. Yeah, so this is the one that the 99 WRX up should have. And this is the style that most of the GC8s and WRXs had, was the taper here, and that's equal length. Whereas if we were to look up Subaru rear, let's see if I can find a photo online. Jason said GDA rear is going to GC8, but not the other way around. The issue you'd have to be with that is the length. So you'd have to make sure that it's from a wagon, because the wagon one would work, but not a sedan, because the sedan ones are physically slightly longer.
Yeah.
This photo here. So this here is what would have been in one of the earlier style, the 98 and earlier WRXs. So you had, these were classified as the unequal length because the left hand had the extra spline that went in. And it was literally just because of the diff design on the earlier styles. I'm not 100% sure why they did it, but that's how they were. But on top of that, there were also different styles of this as well, just to make things harder.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Absolutely beautiful.
that's what. So circlips weren't necessarily in the same position. Yes, so that was an issue we ran into with some customers. I probably would. So Jason said the longer GD works better in rally with the jumps for travel. Also, it does fit and it gives you more free play, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Jake said, are the rear shafts in the WRX the same as the non-turbos? Not 100% sure. I probably wouldn't take the gamble.
What was that question?
Are the rear shafts in the WRX the same as the non-turbos? Because as far as I knew, the non-turbos also had different diffs. Yeah. Yeah.
Mine look about the same size as Sammy's ones, since I've had both the cars parked up next to each other.
There we go. So again, yeah, you can see the different unequal lengths here. It was a pain because, like Steve said, circlips weren't necessarily in the same position. We ran into that where we had a brand new unequal length shaft, but it actually didn't fit in an unequal.
Nice.
It didn't fit in an unequal length diff for some odd reason. So we couldn't work out whether it was. I'd probably say they would be built slightly stronger.
Yeah,
That's what I mean. Like, that's why I wouldn't take the chance. Like Nathan said, the earlier ones were slightly thinner.
Yeah.
The later ones were the same thickness, but
like normally I'd say, they're the same size, they're the same. But then when you look at the transmissions, for example, NA transmissions are a hell of a lot weaker than.
Yeah. They're the same number of teeth and the same length. If they're the same thickness, like that's the next thing I'll be doing is measuring the diameter of the
actual shaft itself.
Yeah, diameter of the actual shaft itself to make sure it's as thick.
Yeah.
Because that's the last thing you'd want to do. Yeah, so there are a lot of different unequal length ones, and it hurt my head because even there, you've got a different style there as well.
So you have to actually go through the effort of figuring out which one's supposed to be in your car.
Yeah, it was a pain in the rear end. We also had a customer who had a rear-wheel drive GC8 who, for some reason, would not listen to us when we told him to go to a more modern rear end and get the equal length shafts. And he kept it as the unequal length, and he just kept blowing shafts.
Yeah, I was going to say that you'd keep blowing shafts at least on one side.
Pretty much came down, and even if the boots were damaged and broken, he'd just buy all the shafts because he needed spares. Because every time he went out and did a skid, he'd break a shaft and need to put a new one in.
Might as well have put a GD R180 in. It would have had a better time.
So Jake said pretty much a copy, just didn't know if the WRX was stronger. No, if they're the same everything, I feel like they'd be the same. The only thing is, does one feel hollow or not? Because if one's hollow, yeah, get rid of it. Steve said he had loads of trouble when I put the STI plated rear. I have Liberty shaft and had to cut the extra splines and have circlip groove turned in. I think I remember. Did you come down to us to talk about that?
Wait, who did that?
If you did. Steve had to have it modified. But we've just got extremely off track. But I think we've touched on everything we had to.
Pretty much. What do we have?
The only other things we had...
So we had the cheap plastic dashes, the cubby lid, whatever in the world that was.
Oh, the cubby lid. The cubby lid. You don't know what the cubby lid is?
No.
I wonder if Darren's is still in good condition, but I know mine is. The cubby lid is the thing for the Gen 4 Liberties that cover the cup holders, which disintegrate. So it's like think of like a roller door kind of thing,
Yeah.
and that's what it is. But yeah, they just fall apart.
Fair
Me
enough.
though, I'm lucky. Mine's still in tip-top condition.
Well, you heard him, Darren.
No, he's not touching mine. Mine's pushed all the way back, and I just never open and close it. I just leave it. It can stay there. Because that comes along with the cheap plastics that they started using in the newer model cars. It's just disgusting how cheap things got.
Yeah.
Again, because like talking about the interiors, some of the photos I have that I was going to use, but I didn't really. We don't really have to because we've done well. Because it's really obvious what we're talking about. Because like I said, today was more of a Subaru cheaped out and it annoys me kind of conversation.
I do have a question. Did the GDs have the little spaces in the center console for the DCCD and high-low?
Yes.
Yeah.
They just they put coin slots in there.
Yeah.
So another thing I'll bring up quickly before we go is this here, which Luke, if he's still watching, would probably have nightmares of. And I'm not talking about the awesome Momo steering wheel. I'm talking about this around here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So again, it's not the fact that Subaru in this generation made bad plastics. Like these plastics,
they were great
lasted
plastics.
20 plus years.
Yeah.
But as soon as you go to remove them, not so good. They just break and it's just terrible. Yeah, and like Jake just said, we've mentioned the fact that the dashes on the newer model Liberties are terrible.
Yeah. Like my 97 Impreza that I had before my current one, that accordion boot there.
Yeah.
I remember I had to take that off to do the head unit.
Shifter. Oh, yeah.
And someone before me had gone to take it off and yeeted the damn thing off. So there were maybe 2 bits holding it on.
Yeah, because I know this here, I'm pretty sure Luke got the only good one we had. Because he was looking and searching for one for years. Like he'd been our customer for years.
Yeah.
And he always wanted a good condition one. We never had one. We finally got one. He was stoked. But yeah, so it's just the fact that they get old and break.
Yeah.
But again, it's the fact that even here, like this top section here, did the same. They always used to break. And it wasn't because of the plastics back then. It was just because of age.
Yeah.
So Jason, if you're listening, we want this bit molded. We also want this bit molded. What other bits do we want molded? We want everything molded. Just mold
anything
everything.
that's plastic. We just just make a whole dash.
Michelle says here, wanted twin cup holder for a GT8. So pretty much, if anyone's wrecking a Forester, was it both NAs and GTs that had them, Cito? The double twin cup holders. Was it just the Foz?
Yeah, it was just the Foz.
My 97 GC had a twin cup holder.
Yeah, but it was the early stuff. That's not what we want. We're talking about the GC8 style that you pull out where normally a GC8 would have one. Yeah. You pull this out, poof.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
because mine was a full length of the thing.
So, yes, that's one thing. Oh, no, Soldier Boy's here. Why haven't you commented? Unacceptable.
Hey.
I just got distracted. What was I saying? What was I talking about?
Making the plastic bits.
Yeah, Jason said lol. No. But yeah, so if anyone has a Series 2 Forester, so a 01 to 02 model,
That
either
they no
NA
longer
or
wish
turbo,
that they no longer wish to have in one piece.
yeah, if they're wrecking it, hook Michelle up with a cup holder.
Yeah.
One of the dual ones. Oh, you lucky bugger.
Also,
Darren said, what bugs me is I can't use any aftermarket head units. Wait, why can't you use an aftermarket head unit? Oh, because the fascia kit's like $1,000 for Gen 4 Liberty.
or
Yeah, I have one in mind.
Yeah, it really is. So gross.
Also, dash conversions.
Oh, look at this. I love the fact that he's still here. See, we speak of him, and he just pulls out the. I've got a good quality photo of one of those here. So this is Luke's
Look at him!
interior.
Look at him flex on that centerpiece.
What do you think, Cedar? Have you seen this photo yet? This is Luke's interior.
Ooh, nice.
So yeah, Luke searched very long and hard to get the best of the best for his car. Hang on, didn't that dash come out of one of our cars?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we had a car where we pretty much just told him just go ham. And hang on, why is that dash different?
Where's the clutch pedal? Where is the clutch pedal?
It's magic. You just think about it and it
That
happens.
is a good question. Luke, where's the clutch pedal?
It's an automatic, isn't it?
No, it's not an automatic. But where's the clutch pedal?
Buy an automatic out of that shit.
Oh, he said a bad language word.
He's not on
Night, Luke.
Night, Luke.
Oh, he's leaving. Wait, is it Luke? Is it an auto or no? I don't think it is an auto.
He's leaving us without saying that it's an auto.
We ask if it's an auto, and suddenly he leaves. I see how it is.
Jason's saying it's auto. I don't think it is.
Looks like an auto. The middle pedal's too small.
Yeah, but you can convert that over.
That's that. It's an aftermarket pedal.
I think we're probably going to miss Luke answering the question.
Yeah.
It's an aftermarket.
Last on the
No, so
list.
Jordan saying it's manual stealth. Darren's stealth auto.
It's a stealth auto.
Oh, no cover on the clutch pedal. That could be what it is.
Yeah, you won't be able to see it.
Stealth auto.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is manual.
Also,
You're going to tonight.
late.
Jason says with the gear lever, something doesn't add up. I'm confused. It's all right, Jason. As far as I'm aware, Luke, hey, yeah, it's a 5-speed manual. So we just can't see the clutch pedal. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's all good. Geez, I could have used this. I could still use this photo. The video I'm doing on Monday is talking about GD seats in the GCA. Sorry,
Yeah,
you
fair
probably
enough.
can't tell that's a GD seat in the GCA.
No, I can tell. It took me a second because the GCs didn't have the multicolored
Pattern, yeah.
pattern like that.
Let's remove this now. But yes, so
There's also the dash conversions.
the dash conversion I've touched on before. Because like I said, we made this more into a gripe session,
Yeah.
which I think we did pretty well. Like I've griped pretty hard. So Luke said it has no fluid and has been pressed in, so it's just sitting on the floor.
Okay.
And why there wires hanging from the driver's door? Because he hasn't been able, unless he's found one recently, he hasn't been able to find the door card. Because as far as I recall, we got him all the others.
Yeah.
So we got passenger and the two rears for a version 4 STI,
Yeah.
but we can't find a version 4 STI driver's door. So that's why that door card's still not there. Like I said, Luke is one of the most, like, is it pedantic? Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, I think so.
There
Like, he's
is
such
someone.
a pedantic owner that he wants everything right.
Yeah.
And
There is someone here that could help him out if he wants to.
finding a good condition one is very hard. Like, even if you want to throw Jason under the bus, you can throw Jason under the bus. He'll struggle to find a good condition one. He found a full set. Why isn't it on? Okay, now, like, I was sitting here defending him, and now he's told me he's got a full set. He just hasn't put it on yet.
Maybe it just wasn't.
Maybe it's an old picture. Maybe it's stock footage.
So Luke said, I found a full set, and Jason said, am I going to have to find a version 4 driver's trim? No, it appears he's found one. No, Luke, have a good night, man.
Bye, Luke.
And on that, I guess we should probably say, as long as no one else has any gripes about interior pieces that are cheap and break a lot. I'm just trying to think quickly on. Well, one thing Darren brought up that we didn't really touch on. He also has a spare one as well now. It's always good to have spares for those older cars, man. One David brought up, Darren. Darren brought up
Dazza.
earlier was the leather seats in the Gen 4s. Turns out he has like a fist-sized hole on the center bit. Have you ever come across that, Nathan?
No.
I don't know what that would be from. It could just be, again, poor leather,
Yeah.
because I know the Liberties do tend to tear quite easily.
Not gonna lie, I wouldn't run leather seats in Australia.
Like, dude, it gets extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, it gets really hot.
Yeah. Referring back to what Jason said on a previous stream a long time ago about leather seats.
I can't remember.
I can't say it.
My memory's shot.
Yeah, I can't say it.
But
You have
yes.
bits that stick to it that you don't want to stick to it.
Yep, that definitely happens.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What other things can we think of, Rohan?
I don't know.
Jason. Like, I can say it because it's not bad. I just don't know if we have any vegans watching that might not appreciate the comment.
Well, if they're vegan, they're doing a pretty good job of not telling.
Instant leather. I feel like I just saw something, but it disappeared. Oh no, it's there. It's all right. It's there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was gonna say if they're vegan, they're doing a really good job at not saying they're vegan. Because I'm honestly surprised.
Yeah. Darren said black leather is my thing. Hey, it's mine too. I'm not going to click Carl's up, but you get the idea. I approve. It's very funny. But when you're a bigger guy like me, skin touches things that it's not meant to. Jake said, just before you end, is it common for the bucket seats in the GCF to rip like the one you showed earlier? Because mine are good. Yeah, it's very common.
Yeah.
Across the top bolster there and also the bottom bolster. It's just from people getting in and out. Definitely not putting that one up.
You got Cito with that one, Jason.
Yeah, it's definitely a common thing for the GC8s. So you're probably lucky and got a skinny dude who owned it. I'm not a skinny dude. Yeah, we mentioned the dash lid plastic. We also mentioned that the gentleman above you that I'm not clicking on his comment, but Jason DeHala, once the plastics are able to come back in, the plastic mix,
he may potentially make
replica ones.
He may potentially make some.
Yeah, which are pretty high quality.
They're good quality stuff.
Jordan said, I'm looking for a driver's side black and grey bucket. Any around black and grey, like GD.
Probably
bucket seats. No, the early models. I would not know any.
That's going to be difficult. Are they only wagon?
No.
The grey ones?
The grey ones were the early models.
Yes.
So I think it was like 96 to 98 WRXs.
Okay.
The wagons had blue.
Blue instead of red?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember there being one specific to wagons.
Jake said, I second the dash lid on GC8. It's bad. His is cracked. And yeah, Jordan said 97. So if anyone listening or watching has a 97 driver's seat, shoot Jordan a message and let him know.
Darren, your comment, no. I own a GC8 and no, I don't have one.
Oh, wait. Have you got 2 left, Jason? Have you got 3 left? I'm getting confused. Jason's sending me photos of dash lids, and I can't decide if he's got 2 or 3 or if he's just saying that this is what he has.
Oh, man, we've started a bidding war at this point.
Oh, no, what I think this is, I think it's comparing, like, genuine to the rep is what I believe this photo was. Actually, I'll use this one instead. Is that what this is, Jason? Showing the replica ones next to the genuine ones?
No, just pics.
Michelle said it took ages to find a good set of black and greys. Yeah, it's hard to find.
Yeah.
Just because of the ages.
Especially with current border closures, that's going to be a little bit harder.
Well, like I said, as far as I know, the borders are starting to open up a little bit more.
Yeah, but you got Melbourne. They can't even move around, and you got a lot of Subarus down in Melbourne.
That's fine. So yeah, I'm going to put. So this photo here is the replicas Jason makes. So
bottom right and top right are the top one.
Don't ask me which ones are the reals and which ones are the fakes.
I think they're the real ones.
I can't remember. But yeah, so these here, like I said, he's probably going to start making some again soon because Jake asked if I could put them up to show. Or are we talking about the seats to show? Oh, so they're all the replicas.
Oh, they're all replicas. Okay.
Yeah. Jake asks him, would it be worth putting gauge pods where it is? If you're going to put gauge pods in, I wouldn't worry about getting a replacement one of these. And I'm not sure.
I'm not a big fan of putting gauge pods there.
Yeah, in the GC8s, I like minimalistic.
Yeah.
Like, I'd prefer to have this than a gauge pod. And in saying that, I've had a GC8 with a gauge pod there.
Yeah.
But I preferred my STI where my gauges were slightly hidden.
Yeah.
Actually, if anyone saw my STI, they know if you were driving, they weren't hidden because you couldn't see the speedo. But from the outside of the car, you couldn't see my gauges.
Like, that's the thing. I know it's illegal, but I do like having it on the pillar.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that is illegal, so that can't be legally done in Australia on a road car.
Oh, okay, so this was when Jason was trying to match the colours of the mix.
Okay.
Is what he said there. But yeah, so hopefully soon Jason will be able to get some more of these made up because I'm pretty sure he sold these pretty quick.
He would have, because you would have had people everywhere trying to...
Luke said just want a nice location for the boost gauge. Where would you say a nice location for the boost gauge on a GC is? I like the way you had it on your Forester.
Steering column.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the nicest place I found is mounting it on the steering column, just in a neat location.
Preferably on the tacho side.
No, just off the speedo. Actually, no. Yeah, mine was on the tacho side.
Yeah.
Actually, no, my tacho was in the sun.
Because you don't need to see your tacho below 4K.
So my one was sold when Jason starts making them again. Hope you didn't use recycled Wookiee bags. What are Wookiee bags?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I reckon the steering column's a nice place to put it.
Yeah, if you've just got the one gauge.
Yeah. Even if you got two, like one each side on a nice angle, is good.
Just before you start drilling holes in your center, just pop it up there.
Even the steering column. I probably wouldn't drill them on. I'd start with a decent double-sided tape.
Yeah, 3M stuff probably.
Yeah.
The 3M foam pack stuff.
Bullies bags.
Or zip ties.
Yeah, or zip tie it there if you don't mind having zip tie. It's just
Just for testing.
Yeah, just for testing. Just because another thing I'd probably do is try to find a second steering column cover.
Yeah, and put holes in that.
Those 99 2000 ones were hard to find. Like, we never had them. Are you against Lamco gauges? Which ones were Lamco?
No idea.
Oh, what did I have? I had a Turbo Smart and I had AEM. But we've completely diverted again.
Lamcos are those type.
Oh, no, yes, Lamco. If you can... Yes, what James just brought up. So Lamcos are the factory ones.
Yeah. Like, if you can get one of those...
So Jake has a spare Impreza RX for parts. But yeah, dude, if you've got the same cover on your RX, man, go for gold.
Yeah.
I'd straight up mount it. Like Nathan said, though, try to use zip ties or double-sided tape to find the right location and then drill it in place.
Like, if you have a big yard, drive around the yard, see what you think, or take it out around the block just inside side streets.
And like James said, and like I said, if you can find original Subaru Lamco gauges, straight up.
Go for gold.
Go for gold. No questions asked.
Because that'd be nice.
Oh, look, Jason's just flexing hard, eh?
Well, he's sending you more.
He's also... I'm just going to... Just because it's Jason, I love him. He's a good bloke. We all like Jason, don't we?
Yeah, Jason's a great guy. Oh, yeah, the P1 stuff.
Yeah, so if you have the Lamco gauges, if you can find them, straight up use them. Darren says, my only real gripe is the sat-nav gauge mode. Should have boost include. Yeah, boost would be good.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, so this is for the guys with GC8s. This is another thing that Jason does. He does these as replicas.
And they fit directly over your fog lights, or do they only ducking behind it?
Can't remember if they fit over the fog lights, standard fog lights.
Yeah.
That's something Jason would have to.
Oh no,
So-
because the P1s had different fog lights.
Yeah. And lastly, I didn't know he had the pod.
What?
Oh, James coming out here flexing.
He's flexing harder or the
He's
same?
flexing hard. Well, I'm just going to pick on him because he hasn't got the surround for his AC.
Or
But, yeah, so these here are the Lamcos. These are the factory. Oh, yeah, so you have to remove the factory crystals to fit the P1.
okay, yeah.
So the thing I was picking on him, if anyone has a shroud that goes around the vents and suits factory style gauges, I'd be interested.
No, I don't. Damn it.
Jake said that would look nice. Mine just has the covers. So yeah, so those P1 vents Jason does. James, your best bet is probably Sweet Talking Jason. He most likely has one laying around.
I think I might have one, but
I don't have one. I don't know.
I need to check something first before I
Yeah,
can get rid of it.
Jason might have one laying around or know someone. Just because, Jason, this is a beautiful car and I want to make this whole.
Look at
But with the Lamcos, the other
saying
thing,
that as he has like 1,000,001 pieces of plastic above it.
do you know how long this car has been in the works, man?
Probably
He
one.
like got it all together in a mint body, but it turns out he couldn't get that car registered.
Oh,
Like the shell of the car was a version 2 STI still.
oh, so it was imported.
Was James's version 2 STI or version 3? You know that red one he had? Like it was beautiful.
So
He pretty much had it completely done. Went to
to
register it, and it's like, no, you can't register it
what? Why not?
because it was a illegal import.
Okay.
But yes, the other thing with these gauges is even if you didn't have this here actually fit underneath the head unit. Wait, are you on that? James is hey Jason, how you doing? Yeah, and you just need the bottom broken lid compartment. Yeah, that's pretty much all he needs. Jake said, thanks for the help tonight, boys. I'll be back next Thursday.
Her,
The YouTube channel is literally a 3P garage.
if you go to the 3P Garage Facebook page,
Yeah, if you go to the Facebook page, I have pretty much the last post before this would have been the video I put up on Monday.
yeah,
So you can follow that
and
too.
that links straight to it because Jacob doesn't upload videos onto Facebook.
I'm thinking about starting it. Okay? Just because I used to get a lot of views on Facebook and it made me feel good. There's 20, 30 views. It's great. Uploading the videos on Facebook instead of just YouTube.
yeah.
And like Steve said, he likes the cages.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're nice, but you could also mount these underneath the head unit as well,
If you wanted to.
if you wanted to. And it's just, they're just such a clean one. You
The-
also had the white face or the black face.
The only thing with that is that putting that with the head unit, it sits a bit too low. Hey,
Yeah, there we go. So it's his James's one that I was talking about was a version 2 SDI, genuine. Apparently it was a 555 edition.
cool.
He bought it to build as a track car, but changed plans. But now everything's been put into one of the blue 3P wrecker shells. So I can't remember which shell, but it was one of our shells.
Yeah.
So
what ended up happening to the version 2?
he ended up selling it for a lot.
Yeah, I imagine
I
it'd be a
don't know if
lot.
it was for a lot, but he sold
It'd
it.
be sold for quite a bit.
As far as I
regardless.
remember, it was caged as well, wasn't it? No. I can't remember. He sold for a bit.
Yeah, like if someone were to buy that, they do one or two things: either build it back to factory standard and show car.
So James tried to mount it under the head unit, but didn't have the right brackets. And then here's Darren just rubbing it in again, nearly 2 hours. Hey, are you guys complaining? I know I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah, this is fun.
Are you
It's
guys
getting a little
enjoying
warm in here though.
Yeah, I was going to say,
That's because I'm stress testing.
I'm not taking my clothes off, Rohan, if that's what you're trying to get at.
You did before, and it was very uncomfortable.
Straight. So,
Oh, God.
but on that bombshell of a thing, let's
Is it really a bombshell though?
yeah, if you have enjoyed tonight, as always, share it with your friends and stuff. Yeah,
Show
it was
how to green
all
wrap.
the one with the green wrap.
Oh, yeah.
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 Oh, gosh.
Can't miss it.
Car 120
There you go.
is the car it was. Yeah, it's very streaky. Sorry, Darren says streaky bacon. It's very streaky. But yeah, on that note, I shall next week's topic. I don't know, like I said, the next week's topic is I feel like I should do my liberty because people ask so many silly questions about it.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm not 100% sure. I could. You know what? Let's do another weird Jacob Day.
Yeah.
Do we feel like a Jacob Day full of knowledge and do's
Power.
and don'ts?
Let's do all about cars.
Yeah, our 3 cars, do's and don'ts. Things we okay, there you go, Jason. Just because you asked, next week's topic is Jacob, Rohan's, and Cito's do's and don'ts with their Subarus.
I have to take pictures of my car.
Oh, you don't have to. You can if you
Oh.
want.
We just need one.
Yeah, just
Who's
one.
got one?
Oh, but then again, he's had one before, so he might have learned lessons from the first one.
Yeah.
Not
Oh.
really, because I didn't really know much about cars when I had my previous GC.
James said he sold the STI to another guy who's building back to track spec.
No, fair enough.
James said thanks to Jason for the gauge thing. And James said do it, chuck a skid. I've got a skid video. I'm probably not going to put it up. I may.
Something about legal things.
It was in Mexico.
Yeah, but he has to prove
you know
that it's
those
in Mexico.
Mexican police, man.
Yeah.
They're getting pretty serious these days. I don't like messing with them. And Jason said, yeah, roasting session. He's down.
Yeah.
So pretty much, yeah. On that, like, comment. Actually, you don't need to like, comment, and subscribe because that's what I say on the YouTube video.
You could if you
let your
wanted
mates
to.
know.
If you're on YouTube.
Actually, if you've enjoyed it, please hit us. Yeah, if you've enjoyed it, please hit us with a like because again, it makes my ego feel good. Yes, I have problems. Okay, it makes me feel good, makes me feel loved. And yeah, invite your friends. Like, it's always great seeing new people like Jake coming in. Old faces like Luke jumping in the talk.
Yeah.
I
I don't even
Jake,
think I've.
just you wait till you see we've got plans on a new badge for my car. If
Yay!
it doesn't do 2 wheels, it's a Commodore. It does 2 wheels. Didn't I send you the video of it doing 2?
It's a Commodore.
I can't remember. I'll send it to
It's
you.
a
If I have.
Commodore anyway.
But yeah, so we will see you. Yeah, so Carl's literally in the works.
That's great.
Oh no, Owen's here as we're finishing,
Oh,
and Carl's been
Everything.
making the badge whilst listening. That's dope. You missed everything, but make sure you don't miss next week, where it's a roast session of Jacob, Cito, and Rohan.
Honestly, Jacob.
Yes, I've probably made the worst decisions out of all of us. So yes,
I mean, I bought an NA.
yeah, you win.
yeah, you definitely. Yeah. Yeah, guys, I'm going to stop now and say goodbye, good night, and I'll see you either on Monday's video that I post or on Thursday night. See you.
Bye.
Bye.